The winds that sweep across the vast, untamed landscapes of Westeros have always carried stories of highborn lords, devastating dragonfires, and the grand world-shattering betrayals that shaped the history of kingdoms. For years, audiences worldwide have watched the shifting allegiances and massive battles that define the struggle for the Iron Throne, becoming deeply familiar with the sprawling castles of King's Landing and the icy, unforgiving heights of the Wall. Yet, beneath the grand tapestry of royal lineages and dynastic wars lies a completely different side of this fictional universe, one that is far more intimate, grounded, and deeply human. It is a world where the glitter of polished armor is replaced by the harsh reality of rusted mail, where gold is a rare luxury rather than a daily currency, and where survival depends not on the commands of an army, but on the enduring strength of personal honor and the unlikely bonds formed on the dusty roads of the Seven Kingdoms. To truly understand this side of the realm, one must step away from the traditional seats of power and look at the vast expanse of the countryside, a place where ordinary small folk and wandering hedge knights struggle to find their place under the sun, bringing this specific, untold chapter of George R.R. Martin's legendary universe to life on the screen is an immense, almost overwhelming undertaking that requires a delicate balance of deep reverence for the source material and a bold, visionary approach to television storytelling. Before we dive deeper into how this gritty, fascinating new chapter was meticulously crafted and how its unforgettable characters found their real-world counterparts, take a brief moment to subscribe to our channel so you never miss an in-depth breakdown of your favorite cinematic universes and exclusive behind-the-scenes stories. The journey to adapt this unique corner of Westeros did not begin on a bustling Hollywood set or in a high-tech production studio, but rather in the quiet, atmospheric landscapes of Santa Fe, New Mexico. It was there that showrunner Ira Parker chose to immerse himself completely in the creative mind of the creator himself, spending an intensive, week-long creative retreat with George R. R. Martin. This was not a mere professional courtesy or a standard business meeting, but a deep, foundational collaboration designed to unearth the true emotional core of the narrative. Together, the two writers spent countless hours discussing the intricate lore, the subtle nuances of the characters, and the specific historical context of this particular era in Westeros, which takes place roughly a century before the events that captivated audiences in the original series. During this time, the dragons that once dominated the skies are gone, leaving behind a fractured realm trying to redefine itself in the absence of absolute creature power. Ira Parker absorbed the sights, sounds, and philosophical undertones of Martin's vision, ensuring that every line of dialogue, every set design, and every narrative arc in the upcoming series would resonate with the authentic, raw spirit of the original novellas. This crucial week in Santa Fe established a rock-solid foundation for the entire production, guiding the creative team as they set out to capture a smaller, far more grounded version of a world that millions of fans thought they already knew perfectly. Finding the perfect actors to embody these beloved literary figures was a monumental challenge that required searching through countless auditions to find individuals who could capture both the innocence and the rugged resilience demanded by the script. The character of Egg, a young boy whose true identity is hidden beneath a modest exterior, required a child actor of extraordinary depth, intelligence, and natural charisma. From the very beginning of the extensive casting process, young Dexter Sol Ansell stood out as an immediate and undeniable frontrunner for the role. There was an instant, unmistakable spark in his early readings that perfectly captured the character's quick wit, underlying nobility, and fierce sense of curiosity. The casting directors and producers were immediately struck by how effortlessly Dexter managed to balance the playful, sometimes mischievous nature of a young boy traveling the dangerous roads with the subtle hints of a much larger, more significant destiny. He did not merely read the lines, he seemed to inhabit the very soul of the character, displaying an intuitive understanding of the complex emotional layers required for the performance. His selection set a remarkably high standard for the rest of the production, signaling to everyone involved that this series would place human emotion and authentic character development at the absolute center of its narrative focus. The world these characters inhabit is deliberately designed to feel vastly different from the grand, opulent settings of previous adaptations, shifting the focus away from the high-stakes political maneuvering of royal courts to the gritty, everyday realities of the common people. This version of Westeros is defined by its smallness and its rough, unpolished edges, presenting a society where the consequences of war and poverty are visible in every mud-soaked village and every weather-beaten tavern along the road. Without the awe-inspiring spectacle of dragons or the immense wealth of the great houses dominating the screen, the storytelling relies entirely on the raw atmosphere of the environment and the genuine human interactions that take place within it. The armor is dented and stained, the clothes are patched and worn from long travel, and the dangers are far more immediate and personal, coming from desperate bandits, cruel local lords, or simply the harsh elements of nature. By stripping away the epic fantasy elements and focusing on this smaller, more tactile reality, the creators have established a unique creative canvas where the true heroism of ordinary individuals can shine through, creating a compelling, atmosphere-heavy experience that promises to reintroduce audiences to the world of Westeros from the ground up. With the atmospheric foundations and the initial creative vision firmly established, the production team faced the next crucial step in bringing this gritty, grounded vision of Westeros to life, which meant finding the perfect physical and emotional counterpart to pair with their young frontrunner. The relationship between a towering, honorable hedge knight and a small, fiercely intelligent young boy is the absolute heartbeat of this entire narrative, meaning that the success of the television series depended entirely on the real-world chemistry between the two lead actors. To achieve this, the creators initiated an extensive, highly rigorous process of chemistry readings, bringing together various actors to see how their personalities, energies, and physical presence would interact in front of the camera. It was during these intense high-stakes sessions that a remarkable, genuine bond began to form between young Dexter Sol Ansell and Peter Claffey, the actor vying for the role of the giant, well-meaning knight Sir Duncan the Tall. In the original literary source material, the dynamic between these two characters is built on a delicate balance of mutual trust, protective instinct, and a shared sense of humor that develops over hundreds of miles of grueling travel. Remarkably, this exact dynamic began to manifest naturally between the two actors in real life, long before the cameras even started rolling for the official production. As the chemistry readings progressed through various complex scenes and emotional beats, it became blindingly obvious to everyone in the casting room that something incredibly special was happening between the two performers. Young Dexter, who had already secured his place as the definitive choice for Egg, found himself completely captivated by Peter Claffey's commanding yet deeply warm and gentle presence. Despite the massive physical disparity between them, which perfectly mirrored the towering height of Dunk and the small stature of Egg, the two actors operated on an equal emotional wavelength, bouncing dialogue back and forth with an effortless, spontaneous rhythm. Dexter was so incredibly moved by these initial interactions and felt such an immediate, profound sense of comfort around his potential co-star that he began actively and passionately rooting for Peter to get the job. He would openly express his enthusiastic support to the creative team, recognizing with the pure, untainted intuition of a child actor that Peter was the only one who could truly bring the necessary warmth, vulnerability, and rugged nobility to the character of Dunk. This genuine enthusiasm from the young star added an extra layer of magic to the casting process, assuring the showrunner and directors that they had discovered a pairing that possessed the rare, unforced authenticity needed to carry a multi-season television epic. Once Peter Claffey was officially cast, the creative team made a conscious and highly deliberate decision to allow the two actors ample time and space to bond in real life, recognizing that a truly believable friendship cannot be manufactured instantly on a chaotic film set. Over the course of the pre-production period, Peter and Dexter spent countless hours together outside of their formal rehearsals, sharing meals, playing games, exploring their surroundings, and gradually building a deep foundation of mutual trust and camaraderie. This intentional investment in their real-world relationship paid massive dividends once principal photography officially commenced, as the genuine affection and comfort they shared in real life translated beautifully and effortlessly into their on-screen performances. When audiences see Dunk and Egg navigating the treacherous roads, sharing a meager meal by a campfire, or bickering over minor details of their journey, they are not just watching two skilled actors delivering lines from a script. They are witnessing a real lived-in friendship between two people who have come to deeply respect and care for one another. This profound real-life connection injects the series with a palpable sense of warmth and humanity, providing a beautiful, comforting contrast to the bleak, unforgiving world of Westeros that surrounds them, the physical reality of filming a television series that emphasizes a smaller, grittier version of Westeros meant that the actors were constantly subjected to demanding, physically exhausting scenes designed to showcase the raw, unglamorous nature of survival in the Seven Kingdoms. Rather than relying on green screens and digital special effects to create a sense of scale, the production utilized practical locations, authentic mud, heavy canvas clothing, and real, weathered props that required genuine physical exertion from the cast. One of the most memorable and talked about sequences filmed during this grueling production period was a highly intense, emotionally charged tug-of-war scene that pushed both characters to their absolute limits. This specific moment in the script was designed to highlight the sheer physical struggle of their daily lives, as well as the underlying tension and stubborn determination that defines both of their personalities. For young Dexter Sol Ansell, this physically demanding sequence quickly became one of his absolute favorite moments of the entire production experience. Instead of being intimidated by the intensity or the physical exhaustion of the scene, the young actor fully embraced the challenge, channeling his raw energy and enthusiasm into every single take, finding immense joy in the collaborative, high-octane environment of a practical film set. The sheer excitement and joy that Dexter experienced during the filming of this specific tug-of-war scene perfectly highlights the unique atmosphere that showrunner Ira Parker and his creative team managed to maintain throughout the production. Despite the inherently gritty, tense, and sometimes dark nature of the narrative they were trying to tell, the environment on set remained one of profound collaboration, safety, and mutual encouragement. Peter Claffey acted as a steadfast, protective guardian for Dexter both on and off the camera, ensuring that the young actor always felt supported, comfortable, and confident, even when executing the most physically demanding or emotionally taxing sequences. This protective, nurturing dynamic directly mirrored the exact relationship between Dunk and Egg on the written page, creating a beautiful parallel where the boundaries between the actors and their fictional characters became wonderfully and elegantly blurred. The tension visible on the screen during these intense sequences is entirely real, born from genuine physical effort and deep dramatic commitment, yet it is underpinned by an absolute, unshakable foundation of trust that allows both performers to push their creative boundaries without fear. As the narrative of the series begins to shift from the introductory atmosphere of the open road into the much more dangerous, politically fraught territory of local tournaments and regional rivalries, this core relationship becomes an essential anchor for the viewer. The growing tension in the world around them only serves to solidify the bond between the towering knight and his clever young squire, raising the stakes of their journey and setting the stage for a profound exploration of what it truly means to be a hero in a world that has largely forgotten the true value of honor. To truly understand why the journey of Sir Duncan the Tall and his young squire Egg carries such immense weight, one must look closely at how their unique partnership operates as a flawless, self-sustaining ecosystem of mutual growth and survival. Peter Claffey and Dexter Sol Ansell have both shared profound insights into why this specific dynamic works so beautifully, highlighting the fascinating contrast between Dunk's immense physical power and Egg's sharp, calculating intellect. Dunk is a man raised in the impoverished streets of Flea Bottom, a place where life is cheap and survival requires a hardened physical resilience, yet he possesses a remarkably rare, unshakable moral compass that refuses to be corrupted by the cynicism of the world. He represents the idealistic, traditional concept of knighthood, believing with every fiber of his being that the strong must protect the weak, even when the rest of society has discarded that noble philosophy. However, his understanding of the complex social structures, political machinations, and hidden dangers of the highborn world is deeply limited, leaving him vulnerable to deception and exploitation by those who hold true institutional power. This is exactly where young Egg becomes absolutely indispensable to the towering knight, serving as a brilliant, highly observant guide through the treacherous social landscape of the Seven Kingdoms. Egg is far more than a mere comic relief companion or a helpless child in need of constant protection. He possesses an extraordinary, deeply ingrained understanding of history, lineage, heraldry, and the subtle, unspoken rules that govern the behavior of the ruling class. While Dunk provides the raw physical strength, tactical combat skills, and protective shield necessary to keep them safe from immediate physical threats on the road, Egg provides the strategic intellect, quick thinking, and situational awareness needed to navigate the far more insidious dangers of local tournaments and aristocratic rivalries. Their interactions form a beautiful, continuous cycle of learning, where the older, world-weary knight teaches the young boy about the harsh realities of the common people, the value of hard labor, and the true meaning of humility, while the young boy teaches the knight how to read the hidden intentions of powerful men and understand the broader historical forces shaping their world. They complement each other's weaknesses perfectly, creating a formidable team that is capable of surviving situations that would easily destroy either of them if they were traveling the realm alone. This profound, beautifully balanced synergy is what elevates their story above standard fantasy tropes, making their unfolding journey feel deeply meaningful, completely earned, and endlessly compelling to watch. The profound significance of this series extends far beyond its immediate entertainment value, offering a crucial, highly refreshing shift in perspective that redefines the narrative boundaries of George R.R. Martin's entire fictional universe. For over a decade, audiences have been conditioned to view Westeros exclusively through the eyes of the incredibly powerful, watching as kings, queens, lords, and ladies play their high-stakes games of thrones from the comfort of immense stone fortresses. In those grand sweeping narratives, the common small folk, ordinary soldiers, and wandering hedge knights are almost entirely invisible, serving as mere background extras, nameless casualties of war, or abstract statistics in the grand political calculations of the ruling elite. This new series completely flips that traditional narrative structure on its head, firmly embedding the camera and the audience's perspective in the dirt, the mud, and the everyday struggles of the ordinary people who actually inhabit the vast countryside. It forces us to confront the real human cost of the decisions made by distant rulers, showing how a minor tax dispute, a local tournament, or a cruel lord's whim can utterly devastate the lives of a peaceful village. By shrinking the physical scale of the storytelling, the series paradoxically expands the emotional depth of the universe, proving that a localized conflict over a small stream or a matter of personal honor can feel just as tense, high stakes, and monumental as a massive battle for the capital city. This specific historical era, taking place in a world completely devoid of living dragons, allows for a much deeper, far more nuanced exploration of human nature, martial skill, and societal decay. Without the terrifying, godlike power of fire-breathing beasts to instantly settle disputes and enforce absolute rule, power becomes a far more fragile, contested, and dangerous concept, relying heavily on individual reputation, personal alliances, and the physical prowess of knights. This is a world where an individual's word, their skill with a sword, and their willingness to stand up for their principles actually matter, creating an environment where true heroism can manifest in the most unexpected places. The journey of Dunk and Egg serves as a poignant, deeply moving exploration of how genuine honor can be preserved in a cynical, deteriorating society that is gradually drifting away from its founding ideals. As they travel from one modest village to the next, interacting with colorful local characters, weather-beaten innkeepers, and desperate mercenaries, they leave a subtle but indelible mark on the realm, proving that kindness, justice, and integrity are not entirely dead in the hearts of men. The incredible dedication, passion, and creative energy poured into this project by everyone involved has laid an extraordinary foundation for a television event that promises to captivate both die-hard book enthusiasts and casual viewers alike. Showrunner Ira Parker's meticulous, deeply respectful collaboration with George R.R. Martin ensures that the series remains fiercely loyal to the unique tone, thematic richness, and historical accuracy of the beloved source material. At the exact same time, the remarkable real-world bond, mutual respect, and undeniable on-screen chemistry shared by Peter Claffey and Dexter Sol Ansell breathes vivid, pulsating life into these iconic characters, transforming them from beloved figures on a printed page into deeply relatable, living human beings. Their shared journey through the smaller, grittier landscapes of the Seven Kingdoms reminds us all of why we fell in love with this sprawling fictional world in the first place, offering a beautiful, deeply comforting story of friendship, loyalty, and hope amidst the harsh, unyielding realities of a cruel universe. We owe an immense, heartfelt debt of gratitude to Peter, Dexter, and Ira for sharing such profound, illuminating insights into their creative process, their intense personal journeys, and the beautiful, collaborative spirit that defined this remarkable production. As the final notes of preparation conclude and the long, dusty road stretches out before our two unforgettable heroes, we can only watch with absolute anticipation, ready to follow them into the dark, untamed